Hello, Charlie.
Hello.
Can you tell me about the EdwardJenner and Mary Seacole programs, please?
Yes, so EdwardJenner is very much a personal development program, and I think there's a whole load of good stuff in there to get people thinking about themselves, what they do, where they'd like to improve, how they view personal development, and it's kind of a mindset piece almost, and really useful about how you learn and the areas that you've identified that you would like to develop.
And the Mary Seacole?
So Mary Seacole is much more in-depth. I'm a big fan of Mary Seacole. So it's for leaders and managers in the NHS and the wider health and social care world. And there's it starts with you and the role you're in and what strengths you bring. And all the way through the programme, it keeps drawing you back to, so what's happening for you? How could you use this learning? What do you need to go and share with people? And it's got a load of suggestions about discussions you might have with your team and your manager, and how you might put into practice, how you might implement things. But it covers you as a leader and manager, building on teams, quality improvement, HR, finance. I'm sure I've missed a few, but it's very, very comprehensive and all very specific to the roles that people will be in.
Okay. And why did Lighthouse decide to attach and implement these programs to our apprenticeship courses?
So for the EdwardJenner, we think it fits very well with the team leader program, and it has some relevance to the business admin, less so, but for the people who are using business admin perhaps as the first step on their career in the NHS, I think it's an incredibly useful thing to do. So the immediate synergy is not so obvious, but it really does give you a good platform to develop further. And the Mary Seacole, for the apprenticeship, the Mary Seacole programme actually covers a lot of topics that therefore we as Lighthouse don't have to cover. It's covered in the Mary Seacole programme.
Excellent. And is there a cost associated to the Jenner and the Seacole?
Not to our clients. If you're doing an apprenticeship and you elect to do either Mary Seacole or EdwardJenner, then we put it in as part of the package.
Brilliant. And with these programs, how are they delivered from Lighthouse?
So EdwardJenner is purely an online programme. So there's a platform created by the NHS Leadership Academy, and you go on there and go through modules and work at your own pace. For the Mary Seacole, we bring it in, I'm doing this, to the different modules that are covered in the Mary Seacole programme, and it is e-learning, and then you come to 3 workshops. In the Mary Seacole programme, there are 3 very prescribed workshops that we go through, and that's about bringing the learning that you've already done, discussing it with your peers and your colleagues on the course, which is where the magic happens, and then it brings to life the e-learning that you've done.
Excellent. Can you share some of the key outcomes from the Jenner and the Seacole attached to our apprenticeship programs, Charlie?
Yes, so for the Mary Seacole, I can explain that because the programme has been put together by NHS Health Social Care experts and professionals, it's really targeted to how does your role and that of what your team are delivering, how does that all fit in and impact on patients or service users at the end. And that's always coming back to, so what does what you do impact the quality of care that is given to your service users, patients, their families and carers. So I think people get a much better understanding, because we can talk as trainers, we can talk about generic leadership and management, team challenges, quality challenges, but the courses really give you in your own language what's happening for you, what the challenges are, and tools and insights that we couldn't do.
Brilliant. And any sort of final thoughts on these programs, Charlie?
Yeah, I will be honest, from the Mary Seacole, which is the one I can speak to with much more confidence, people find it a lot. There's a lot in there, and I think there's always a point at which people think, I can't do all of this. But coming to the end, people are always very pleased that they did it, found it really worthwhile, they learnt a lot, and it encourages conversations. Going back to something I said earlier, it encourages you to go and talk to your team, talk to your manager, talk to the finance team, and it really develops your insight into your role and the trust or whichever part of the NHS or health and social care you work for. It'll give you much greater insight.
Thank you, Charlie.